think if you didn't have a stash, you could hold this up against your face just by sucking?
No.
You don't think so?
No. It weighs too much.
But you suck real hard.
Was that an elaborate setup? Got him! That was like 45-second setup.
Welcome to the Whiskey Vault.
I'm Daniel.
Got him! I'm Rex. What do we got?
This is a gift from Magnificent Bastard Kimberly Burke.
Kimberly Burke, you magnificent
Bastard.
So, Balcones. Now, remember, we're friends.
Lineage.
We like Jared. We like all the people doing amazing Balcones. We've sold their whiskey before.
Right. So we have a friendly relationship, and now we have a friendly working relationship in our own distillery. You see a lot on our other channel, the Whiskey Tribe channel. We have sourced barrels from them and bottled with independent bottling series that we often do.
Right.
So we've never done this.
No, we've not done this one. This is a newer one.
But we will put it out there. We try as hard as hell as we can to be objective, but we know the people, we like the people, and that's always going to influence what you say. But I'm going to try super hard to find bad things to say because Jared...
Does it smell like hippies?
He knows what he did. He probably has no idea.
It smells like a pottery shop.
You know what? I wouldn't have immediately guessed Balcones on the nose. What's going on?
Well, so my understanding is, look at the proof on this. What do you recognize?
It's 47% ABV.
Yeah.
It's relatively low.
So how recently they did
it's not low, but compared to what they usually do.
Right.
Yeah.
So how they recently released not recent, but pot still bourbon
Yeah.
at a lower proof.
Sure.
And it was there because there was so much high proof stuff in the Balcones lineup.
Yeah.
They wanted to create something that still had flavor, still had texture and character, but was a lower entry proof and not as much of a straight struggle.
So for somebody that's relatively new, just a more accessible proof.
Right.
Okay.
And this is sort of along those lines from what I understand. It's an interesting combination of Scottish malt, the Golden Promise, and Texas High Plains malt. So it's a mix of their single malt and their High Plains single malt.
I definitely get the dual influence because you don't immediately get, well, this is obviously American whiskey, and you don't immediately get, well, this is just all like a Scotch type of scenario. There's like, there's some overlapping Venn diagram stuff going on. I'm getting some tropical fruit though.
The first explosion was melons for me.
Melons?
Like honeydew melon, or even what's the orange one? It's
cantaloupe.
It's the one thing no one eats in the fruit bowl.
Cantaloupe.
Everyone picks around the cantaloupe.
Yeah.
It's always got left behind.
The green ones are the best.
Yeah. Green ones is the honeydew.
The Hindu?
Honeydew.
Pretty sure you said Hindu.
Hoodoo? Honeydew.
Yeah, it is that, it's almost a pineapple for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fruit explosion on this.
But it's a different set of fruits than what I would typically get from most American whiskeys and even most Scotch. But there's like, it's really interesting.
It's used and new oak.
Okay.
Barley from both Texas and Scotland.
Okay.
And for me, the really cool thing is once you get past the fruit explosion, it's still got a little bit of that wood oil tannin that it didn't lose the Balcones trademark nose.
Yeah, there's that oily kind of richness to it.
Yeah.
Which down at this proof, it's still there, but it's not the front leading note which is what I typically get from Balcones.
Right.
It's still there, but it's taking a back seat to these, fruitier notes, and these are fruit notes that you don't often see in most whiskeys.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very, it's 3 years old, at least 3 years old.
You know what it is? You ever had like one of those fruit infused teas?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in like the iced tea, where it's like, oh, what's your tea for the day? Oh, it's like peach tropical fruit explosion.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then you still have the ethanol layer in there, but it's not dominating.
Oh, that's the most unique Balcones.
Yeah.
And what I mean by unique is like there's some really interesting like Brujeria and all the weird releases of those, and there's unique things going on in those. But this is the least, I hesitate to say least Balcones thing.
No,
it's a true outlier.
They're coloring outside the Balcones lines.
I love this.
So all of you love it. I really like it.
Yeah.
All of the, and that's just the first approach. I'll get back in there in just a second. But all of like those somewhat unique fruit notes that we were getting on the nose, those show up for me in the taste. Boom, immediately.
Yeah.
And then the sweetness kind of shifts gears for me, and it turns into a little bit more of like a sugary, desserty sweetness.
Yeah, and then the aftertaste for me is where I get that kind of tannic oil and wood and slight, like, dark wood note.
Wow.
I added a little water to mine, even though it's at 47.
And it's almost like a jam quality to the fruits, almost like a preserves.
Dense.
Yeah.
Oh, don't add water. It flattens it beyond
Okay.
recognition.
Okay. You just while you're
I'm just going to start over.
some of your water may have sprinkled in mine. It's safe.
Man, this is, legitimately fruity. Like, can't stop. Every time I pick it up, I just smell fruit bomb. That's so wild.
And now, like when I was saying, the fruit that I was expecting from the nose, it shows up on the taste, and then it shifts gears into more like a desserty thing, kind of like a jam. Fruit roll-up.
Oh, yeah.
That showed up for me on the back up, on the back end, like a strawberry fruit roll-up. And it stays with you, man. It's very clingy.
Man, I would.
That sweetness goes for a long time.
You know what? That would be the bottle grab for me to introduce somebody to Balcones.
Yes, but I don't know if it would necessarily be fair because it is an outlier.
Right.
Most other Balcones bottlings, there's very recognizable, like a common thread throughout those. It's
Right.
like once you've had a few, it's like, oh, that's Balcones, and that's Balcones, and that's Balcones. This though, colors outside those lines.
But I always get a lot of fruit in this and the Balcones single malts, but they're back there.
Yeah.
And so I would be interested to see how if I introduce somebody to this,
Right.
if they could still find the fruit notes in the higher proof malts.
Yeah. Honestly, man, here's the thing. Whenever we know people and we like people and then we review the whiskey, I'm trying really hard to find something that I can
Just crap on.
be fair and critique it. It's like kind of drawing a blank. It's just really well done. And I think, and that's not fair to people that I know, because it just makes me even more concentrating on what are the pitfalls, what are the shortcomings, what are something that I can, say some positive things that are there.
It's a really nice things about a stranger, but sort of crap on a friend,
Yeah.
just so they don't get too comfortable.
Well, if I don't know somebody, I don't want to crap on them because I don't know them, right? Backyard rules. But whenever you know somebody, you have that kind of relationship, you can kind of, bust some balls a little bit because they know. They know.
I've been really wanting to try this. I've been avoiding buying it in the store, even though it's been out for a while.
Yeah.
And a couple of people have offered a chance. Hey, have you tried the new Lineage? And I've been avoiding it until this review because I wanted to.
What have they said?
They all say the same kinds of things. Like, wow, it's really fruity. It's really nice. It's really a pretty Balcones. And yeah.
Giraffe, why is this Terry Dolan choosing? Terry Dolan, he's choosing names.
On purpose, just to see if Rex can pronounce them. Yeah.
I want to try Hill Giraffe. Giraffe Ongstritrakul.
Nice.
Giraffe Ongstritrakul.
Now you got it the first time.
Whiskey Noob here needs your suggestions. My best friend, commencement day is drawing near, and he invited me to have some drinks with him, but I'm not sure which bottle should I bring with me. Both of us are whiskey noobs. We've only had the red and the black Johnny Walker for our whole life.
Wow.
May you suggest what we should try for this special occasion? Price range, they got some money. $100 to $150.
Wow.
Wow, the world is your oyster, my friend.
Dude, I would get an earthy Speyside.
You get an earthy, so they're
Yes,
already
with a little bit of smoke.
they're in the
it.
Johnny Walker territory there.
Yeah.
All right, so we want to keep them in Scotch.
I would switch to a single malt, but I would switch to one that's easily accessible.
Okay.
So you can get it.
Okay.
You guys throw in your recommendations as well.
What about?
I wouldn't go to Isla.
What do we do?
Maybe Highland.
Highlands? What about a little bit of the Glenfiddich?
I'm sort of thinking either Glenfiddich or
Yeah.
if they don't mind the black, Johnny Walker Black, it gets a little more smoky.
Yeah.
Or Talisker or Oban.
For $100, they could get a Glenfiddich and
I would get two. Instead of getting one, get two and A/B compare. So get like a Glenfiddich 12.
right
Or
and
Oban 14. Great entry into some more briny notes.
right.
Or Talisker.
You think?
That just constantly changes direction.
Yeah, in the comments, what do you recommend?
Yeah.
For they got between 100 and 150 bucks this week. Randy Killer. It's funny that
No,
sometimes...
you mispronounced that. It's Rondi Keeler.
It's Randy Killer. It's funny that sometimes all those Rondis out there.
All those Rondis.
Sometimes the subtitle reads Whiskey Balls in place of Whiskey Vault.
Yeah, that's when we're using the automatic
subtitles.
Now, hey, guys, now kind of a buddy of the channel.
Yeah.
Reached out to us. He's a student. As part of his getting his degree, he has to volunteer like intern work somewhere.
Oh, right on.
So he offered to translate all of our #1 video, which is the top 21, right, into Spanish for subtitles that we can upload to YouTube.
On this channel?
Is the top 20 on this channel?
Well, I
think
mean,
it's on this channel.
both channels have million-plus videos.
It's the top. I think it was the top 20 was on this channel, wasn't it?
Well, the best whiskeys for beginners is...
Oh, I don't remember which one it is. Anyway, he's working through both options.
Okay.
Right?
Whatever you
and
want,
he's going to give us Spanish subtitles.
Awesome. Thank
so he listened to the whole thing and transcribed it into Spanish, and then he sent me the file this morning.
Make sure you get the name of the show rates, Whiskey Balls.
Whiskey Balls.
Welcome to my Whiskey
Translate that correctly. Welcome to the Whiskey Balls.
Yeah, it's just good. Damn it. Son of a bitch. Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, I fight for a friend.
Steal, may you steal your liver's.
And if you drink, may you drink with us.